When I see something that has trinomials or binomials, I always want to factor first. So in my numerator, I can see I have a GCF of A, and I'd be left with A plus 3 over. In my denominator, I have an A in common as well, and I'd be left with A minus 5 plus A plus 2. Then here I'm going to factor this trinomial, so I'm going to find factors of negative 5 that sum up to give me negative 4. I'm going to be looking at 5 and 1, and the 5 is negative. So I'm going to have A minus 5, A plus 1. So my LCM, I can see that the greatest A I have is 1, the greatest number of A minus 5 I have is 1, and the greatest number of A plus 1s I have is 1. So, I am missing here in A plus 1. I am missing here in A. So, I am going to multiply. Okay? So first off, I see an A and an A, and I know that these two A's can cancel out. By eliminating that A, now all I'm missing on this side is that A plus 1. So I multiply top and bottom by A plus 1. So I have A plus 1 times A plus 3 over A plus 1, A minus 5. Plus A plus 2 over A plus 1, A minus 5. I have the same numerator over the same denominator. The same denominator. So I can write one numerator over one denominator. This is saying multiply. So I'm going to have A squared plus 3A plus A plus 3 plus A plus 2. Combine like term. 3A plus A is 4A plus 1 more A makes 5A. I have 1A squared and 3 plus 2 makes 5. A plus 1, A minus 5. There are no two numbers that can multiply together to give me positive 5 that add up to give me 5, so therefore I am factored. Okay? When I have subtraction now, same thing. Start by factoring. 2y plus 1, factor your bottom. Two numbers that multiply together to give me 6, the sum to give me negative 7. I would be looking at 6 and 1, and both of them being negative. So y minus 6, y minus 1, minus y plus 3 on top. This one, factors of negative 6 that sum up to give me negative 5 would be 3 and 2. Well, that gives me 5, but these multiply to give me negative 6, but won't add up to give me negative 5 because one has to be negative, one has to be positive. So the combination doesn't work. So I'm going to have 6 and 1, and the 6 has to be negative. So I'm going to have y minus 6, y plus 1. So I have both y minus 6's, but this has a y minus 1 and this has a y plus 1. So I'm missing the y minus 1 on this side, and I'm missing the y plus 1 on that side. So I would have y plus 1 times 2y plus 1 minus y plus 3, y minus 1, over y plus 1 times y minus 6 times y minus 1. Start by multiplying. Y times y would be 2y squared. Y times 1 would give me y. 1 plus 2y, 1 times 2y would give me 2y, and 1 times 1 is 1. Minus y times y is y squared. Y times negative 1 would be negative y. 3 times y is 3y, and 3 times negative 1 is negative 3 over y plus 1, y minus 6, y minus 1. I would combine like terms. So I'm going to have 2y squared plus 3y plus 1 minus y squared plus 2y minus 3 over my denominator of y plus 1, y minus 6, y minus 1. Now, just like when we subtracted, we have to subtract everything after this negative. So therefore, we have to change the sign on 3 of our terms. So, I would have 2y squared plus 3y plus 1 minus y squared minus 2y plus 3 over y plus 1, y minus 6, y minus 1. Combine like terms. 2y squared minus y squared would be y squared. 3y minus 2y would be plus y. And 1 plus 3 would give me 4. Over y plus 1, y minus 6, y minus 1. Okay, so again, all you're doing is factoring and then just remembering to distribute that negative. So we're building upon that chapter 5 material. In example number 8, okay, we want to add these together, but 8 is not the same thing as negative 8a is not the same thing as positive 8a. So we can easily make it negative by multiplying top and bottom by negative 1. So negative 3 over negative 8a plus 1 over negative 8a. Now we have a common denominator of negative 8a, and we're going to add our numerators. Negative 3 plus 1 would give me negative 4 over negative 8a. This is a monomial, so I can simplify my numbers. So the negatives cancel out, and there are 4 goes into 8 2 times, so 1 over 2a. Okay. In example number 9, here we have 5x over x minus 2y minus 3y minus 7 over 2y minus x. So they're the same thing, just not the right order. So in order to change the order, we're going to times by negative 1. So we're going to have 5x over x minus 2y minus, multiply your terms by negative 1, negative 3y plus 7 over x minus 2y. So when you multiply by negative y, you're just changing your sign. So whatever positive becomes negative, whatever negative becomes positive. So now my denominator is the same. So I'm going to write one denominator, and now I'm going to write my numerator. 5x minus 3y plus 7. I had to distribute the negative because I'm subtracting 2 terms. So I'm going to have 5x minus 3y minus 7 over x minus 2y. And I can't combine anything, so it stays as is. Next example, now we're just adding 3 terms. So again, I would go into factoring first. So I know that this is x plus 2, x minus 2. 2 plus x is the same thing as x plus 2. But 2 minus x is not the same thing as x minus 2. So I'm going to know I need to multiply this one, top and bottom, by negative 1. So I'm going to have 2x over x plus 2 times x minus 2 plus negative 5 over x minus 2, I just changed my signs there, minus 1 over x plus 2. So this is missing that x plus 2. And this is missing that x minus 2. So I'm going to have 2x over x plus 2, x minus 2, plus, distribute the negative 5, negative 5x plus negative 10 over x minus 2, x plus 2, minus, I would distribute the negative with, I would treat this like a negative 1 to make sure I might have my signs. So negative 1 times x would be negative x, and negative 1 times 2 would be positive 2. So when I took that negative with it, I just made my sign positive to know that I don't need to change my signs anymore. Now, once I have the same denominator, I can write the denominator once and one numerator. So I'm going to have 2x plus negative 5x minus 10, or plus a negative 10, plus a negative x plus 2 over x plus 2, x minus 2. Now I'm going to combine like terms. 2x minus 5x minus x. So this would be negative 3x. Take away one more would be negative 4x. Negative 10 plus 2 would be negative 8. Over x plus 2, x minus 2. GCF in the top. So you're never finished until you can't factor anything else out. So I take out the negative 4, and I'm going to have x plus 2 over x plus 2, x minus 2. The x plus 2's cancel out, and I'm left with negative 4 over x minus 2. And I would state that x cannot equal 2, and x could not equal negative 2, because that was my two terms in my denominator.